So I get a lot of questions about my overall strategy and why I don't care about capital gains or day-to-day ups and downs. So I'm going to try to answer all those questions in today's video. It's not a weekly update. It's just a re-explanation of my strategy from start to end. So right off the bat, I'm a dividend growth investor. What that means is I buy dividend paying companies and basically don't sell them. I buy and hold these companies. So whether or not the stock is green or red while I'm holding them, it doesn't really matter. In fact, if anything, I look forward to the red days because I can get the stock at a cheaper price. Now, eventually, if I decide to sell 10, 20, 30 years, obviously I want the portfolio value to be up and the stock price to be up when I sell, but for right now, I don't really care about the day to day because overall the market's down, so I'm getting in at good pricing. And I'm not planning on selling unless companies suspend or cut their dividends severely and have a negative outlook. So basically, in a nutshell, we're holding dividend paying companies for decades. If I don't ever have to sell, I mean, that would be beneficial to me. So for now, we have these companies. The share of Ford stock is a stock I got for free for somebody that signed up. So thank you to them, but I probably am just going to sell that and reinvest it into these companies here. But looking at the watch list here, this is the next batch of stocks that I am looking at. They all pay quarterly dividends, I believe, and most of these companies have been around and they're extremely safe companies to invest in, and I think they will be around for decades on end. So the next 10 companies or so that I invest in are probably right here, and that'll be the strategy, is to just keep buying and buying and buying and growing the overall income for the portfolio. So going over to Simply Safe here, this is part of the reason why I got Simply Safe, was to help me project income. But essentially right now I'm getting $12 a month projected for income coming from these stocks. So $12 isn't a whole lot, but that buys me one share of AG&C roughly, and that effectively grows the portfolio on its own. So not only am I growing the portfolio, but these guys are paying me to also grow my portfolio. So it's a really powerful strategy, and it creates a compounding effect because the more you buy, the more you get paid out, and the more you get paid out, the more you can buy. So it just fuels growth. And a lot of people are short term when it comes to investing, and I just don't like that strategy anymore. Maybe someday I want to hand this portfolio off to my daughter, who won't have to do anything, and she'll be getting income from these dividend paying companies. So we'll see whether or not that happens, but in a nutshell, I just don't care about the day to day. It doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things of this strategy. The only time I'm looking to sell a company is if they suspend or cut their dividend, which I did just recently do 2 sells. And honestly, I probably could have held them because those companies are going to come back. I just felt like it was more worth my time right now to re-spec into these companies. I'm a little more certain of these guys here, so that's why I did that. But everybody's dividend growth strategy can be a little bit different. I'm still kind of figuring out mine, to be honest, but in a nutshell, my general plan is to buy the companies that I have here and on my watch list and pretty much just grow over time with that. It's not going to be super exciting like day trading can be, but it's a safer strategy. It's a proven strategy, and you got investors like Warren Buffett that have made billions and billions of dollars pretty much using this strategy and whatnot. So it obviously works as long as you are choosing companies that aren't overinflated with their dividend yield and whatnot. So that hopefully answers all the questions about what I'm doing and why, and especially answers the question about the capital gains thing, because again, if AG&C goes up to $15 today, I'm not selling it for a short-term gain. It's not worth it. And on top of that, there's tax implications for that too. If you hold a stock for over a year, you get taxed differently than you would do if you sold it. There's different taxes for that. So that's another thing to take into consideration. But yeah, I think that pretty much wraps up the video. So if you have any more questions, just please leave a comment. or you can always message me on Instagram. That's probably the best place to have a direct conversation with me. But yeah, if you liked this video, please like it, and if you want to see more content from me and aren't subscribed, please hit subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.